Welcome to the Excel video for aligning text horizontally, vertically, and then wrapping text within a single box. So I'm going to start with one of the things that is most common, which is you have text in a cell that is more than fits, but you really don't want to increase your column width. So there's a very cool feature on the Home tab under the Alignment section that lets you wrap text. And what that does, now I'm going to come up here and use the column adjuster so that we get the word mortgage on one line. And you can see that it says mortgage or rent. Now that I have the correct column width, and because it went to three rows high, because I didn't have it wide enough to let mortgage be on one line, there's an extra blank row up above it. The way to fix that is to go back up here and turn off wrap text and turn it back on. And now it is simply 2 rows high, which is very cool. Now, another thing that a lot of people do is they like to center their titles over their columns. Each one of these is now centered. And I can left justify it, or I can right justify it. But I prefer center, so that's where I'm going to place that back at. Now, the other kind of alignment, this is the aligning text to the left and to the right of the cell that you're in. You can also do a vertical alignment, which means it's aligned to the bottom of the cell, which is what it is right now. Or I can center it. You notice how all the titles came up to the center. Or I can top justify it within those cells. Because they are title columns, I'm going to go ahead and center them. So you can move things into the center, the bottom or the top of a cell, the left, right, or center of the cell. And just like in Word, you can indent things. So I'm going to highlight these 2 payees, and I'm going to come over and indent them to the right. Gives them a little bit of a... So if you're doing a list of things, sometimes you might want to indent a part of them. I'm going to move them back. And we talked about wrap text. Merge and center I'm going to talk about in a future one, as also the rotation angle. But there's a lot of fancy things you can do in Excel. The most important thing is understanding how to left, center, and right align your text, top, middle, and bottom, and wrapping a text field, which comes in very handy. Now, we had talked about this column being wide enough to fit a payee name. If you know, for example, that you are going to write out a check to the government, for example, you could also do a wrap text within a row. And you can do it with just a single cell. You don't have to do it to the entire row. But that's kind of a cool thing to use for that. I'm going to delete that out. But that just shows you some of the very powerful tools you have in the alignment section of your Home tab.